share this map with our masters. Because I believe we can take authority, and I'll draw some map to explain that, over our physical body, and we can simply choose to either live by the rules that society has created, or we can take authority over those rules, and then the sky's the limit. It's because of a rule or a belief system that this is what happens when you get old. So we either are under its control, it's either the master, or we make it the servant, and we can simply choose something different. We are either limited by it, or we step outside of it, right? And I think for me, I'm not saying that I'm trying to change the societal rule. What I'm saying is I don't have to live within it. You see the difference? Which is going to put you in direct contradiction with just about everybody else around you. And I think for me, we talked about the focus, notice, awareness circle. So of course you just had it. The focus, notice, awareness circle. Did I bring out one of these? Okay, no worries. That was newer. You know, is our ability to focus, right? To hold our thoughts, even though we're surrounded or mired in the television show this morning, flipped on the TV, and it was a lady that, I really didn't pay too much attention to it, but she had some organization or something supporting women as they go through menopause, right? So it was all this resource, and now it's a fact. From her perspective, the society's perspective, women go through menopause, and it can be so many years, and she says it can start as early as 30, and there's certain things that happen, and hormones shift, and so she had this big resource database on how to manage your way through this. You know what I think when I look at that? Why do I have to know if I was different body parts? Why do I have to? Why? Why do I have to do that? I'm not trying to be lawless, but why? Why do I have to be limited by that? I'm not saying it's not a rule, but why does it have to apply to me? Why can't I do something different, right? You see, for us, we're about doing whatever we can to create rebellion. Not against people, but against those things that control the people. Those things that enslave, and that's a very accurate word for it, the people around us. You see, where we work, and I'll draw a map to explain that as best I can, our battle is not with the people. Our battle is with, and when you talked about being kicked in the kidneys, you were kind of choosing your words on how to describe that experience. That's what our battle is against. Our battle is against those structures that enslave or limit the people. That's where our battle is. It's not with the people. It's with what's controlling them. Controlling them being their body gets old and frail, right? Controlling them, they can't have their cake and eat it. Controlling them, they have to live in physical pain or emotional pain for the rest of their life. Our battle, is not against them. It's against that which is controlling them. You see the difference? But there's a way. I'm not saying we're there yet, and we'll never be there yet because there's always room for things to get better, that we can take authority over the crazy old firewall. We're in Calgary next week. Could you be there at 10 o'clock? You just have to sit, right? We'll just do it, right? But, there's a moment that if we work, right? It's not a magic wand, that we embody the authority and therefore the privilege of taking authority over those things that control other people. And those things that control other people, I'm not trying to get all angels and demons kind of here, but those things that control other people, when we take authority over them, not in the words that we say, but in the life that we live, they will recognize that authority and surrender to it. And when that happens, in that moment, maybe that moment being like one right here, they are not limited or controlled by that which controls them. Just for that moment. And all it takes is a moment. That's all. Right? It doesn't take a lifetime. It doesn't take months or years or hours. One moment. That's all. You talk about shingles cell healing. It takes 10 feet, right? It takes 10 feet. Right? Matter of fact, it doesn't even take 10 feet. It takes one step. You know, one of the things that you know, I often tell people about with the fire walk is, when do you know when you can walk across fire? When you know you can walk across a bed of popcorn safely is the moment your foot touches the grass on the other side. That's when you know. Right? As soon as you exit it on the other side, then you knew. And in that, however many seconds it was, everything changes. And what I'm saying is, that is our role in society, if you will. Both within ourselves, and always within ourselves first, and then with those around us. To step outside of those rules, not rebellious against people, but against those things that control people, whether it's a person, whether it's a company, whether it's a country, whether it's a world. And all it takes is one. To achieve that moment. That was good. Let that sink in. All it takes is one. All it takes is Charlotte. Right? To show up. And simply your presence. All those things that enslave those people around you will have to, because they recognize your authority, surrender to it. And then healing is like, okay, we're done. Because if you're not limited by that, no, you just, okay, you're done. Cancer, okay, we'll fix that. It's like this switch, turn that and on, right? You know. Do you see what I mean by this? This is huge. We've seen glimpses of it. And we're just, for more. Those kids, the learning disabled, all that kind of stuff, right? What if that situation can change like that? Profoundly, significantly change like that. I believe it can. I don't believe it can. I know it can. Right? We've seen flavorings of it. And as we continue to work and we kind of use our maps, right, we know we'll see more. How you guys doing? How you doing, Charlotte?